Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to go over the testing of the encoder sensors, and I think I do have a bad encoder on my x-axis, and I tested the Z one to be good using an oscilloscope and the spec sheets on the sensor, so stay tuned for that. And if you have any advice, let me know. I don't want to be swapping sensors and buying new ones if that's not actually my problem. So if I've misdiagnosed this, I'd appreciate any comments. Thanks, and please hit like and subscribe. I've got the motor set up here. I'm gonna apply 5 volts to the encoder, and it looks like I've got the right settings because I'm pulling 18 milliamps, so should be safe there. So I'm gonna get this thing hooked up. So the sensor is now powered, and then I have the oscilloscope set up. I'm not actually running the motor, but I can just reach over here and twist this. You'll see that I'm getting some readings on the scope. So here I'm getting a square wave function like the manual says, or the spec sheet for the encoder module. I have a power supply, so I got 16 volts right now I'm running the motor at, and then I have there's 2 channel A and channel B for the specs, and that's what the waveform between the two is supposed to look like. So I've got channel A here right now, just square wave, so that's good. Now I gotta find the other one. So I'm getting the signals I expect out of this thing. You can see the square wave, and it's offset by 180 degrees. So that's exactly what I need right there. So that tells me that this encoder here is good as mounted. I got that basically. So here's the best display of it on auto mode. Cleans it up. That is exactly perfect. So I've got the 5 volts for the sensor applied to the correct pins per the specification there. Ground pin 1 and voltage pin 4. Channel B is on pin number 5. And then also note that both of these probes have a ground that's connected to the motor case. So now I've got the x-axis motor with the x-axis encoder hooked up to the oscilloscope here, and the motor is turning with this power supply, and then this power supply is feeding the sensor. The part that makes me a little suspicious here is I'm not pulling any current, and I was getting 0.018 amps with the other one. I did verify that I have 5 volts at the motor, so the auto function is not finding the beautiful square waves overlap 90 degrees like I saw on the other one. So I'm gonna try to make some manual adjustments here and see if that could have an effect. All right, now I'm changing channel 1, which is the yellow one. You just get both of these. No, I don't know, maybe I got a bum sensor here. So the x-axis encoder may not be working. This is the power supply right now. It's set the output, so it's, you know, I have it set, I guess, a maximum of 0.1 amps. It's the lowest setting you can do on this thing. It says that it's pulling 2 milliamps. The other one was pulling 18 milliamps. So I'm gonna move the leads over to the old one here, the one that tested out, and see if that gets us back to closer to 18 milliamps again. So unhooked, now I'm at 0. And yep, there we go. So looks like I do have a bad sensor on the x-axis.